my secret, just do something that ain't nobody ever done before, but make it sound like something that's always been there forever.
Hello, welcome to This Filipino American Life, a podcast that explores the nuanced experiences of Filipinos in the United States at iba pa. My name is Joe Bernardo, and I'm joined by my fellow hosts,
Ryan Carpio,
Elaine Delalis,
and
Mike.
Yeah.
producer Mike.
I feel like we should get a pro version of that.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool
I
that
think
Elaine
it's
has to
phone
whip
to
out
the
her
thing.
phone every time.
I think that is the charm
Okay,
of the
fine.
air horn.
Fine.
Charming air horn.
It's important for us to get to have the most high tech
Yes.
sounds
touch.
as possible.
AKA my phone.
High touchery.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
I know it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a while. Sorry. I always say that. Always. I love that
It's good to
song.
see you guys. I miss you guys.
I miss you too, Ryan.
Yeah, I miss the valley.
I know the beautiful
The deep
San
valley.
Fernando Valley that Mike loves so
Boo.
much. Oh.
Haterade, so much haterade.
It's so nice in the valley.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm.
Warm.
So, do we have a TFAL of the episode, Elaine?
Yes, the TFAL of the episode is Tammy Vince Cruz.
Tammy.
Do you know her?
Vince Cruz.
Yeah. No.
I love how you always do that. I'm like, do you know her? And I know you're going to say no.
Because we probably do, or sort of. We're probably.
She's from Seattle.
Oh,
Yeah,
Seattle.
Seattle. So she comments. She's a frequent tweeter
Oh, nice.
at
Seattle.
the TFAL.
We're probably connected through Friendster.
206.
I can't wait for when we go to Seattle one day. My dream guest is to talk to Doug Baldwin.
Who's Doug Baldwin?
Wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh,
Filipino.
cool.
He's the one who ran out to the field holding a Philippine flag
Oh,
right
nice.
after Typhoon Haiyan.
It was
on.
cool.
Yeah, or Yolanda.
Aren't those the same thing?
It's
Yeah.
the same.
It's the same. The Philippines called it Yolanda, but Americans, I guess, called it Haiyan.
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. I guess they have a different
They have a
naming
different
system.
name.
I don't know.
Bakit? I don't know.
Bakit?
Nice foreshadowing, right?
I try.
So today we also have a voicemail to play.
Ooh, voicemail.
So listen to it right now.
Kumusta, ate and kuya?
What's up? This is Sally and Eric, and we have not seen each other in 2 years.
2 years, and right now we are bonding, talking about how my friend should really check out This Filipino American Life.
Yeah, and we're in line for In-N-Out, so
In
we're
Oakland.
thrilled. Yes, we're in Oakland with our two friends in the back seat.
Hey! And we were just talking about how your episode at the bookshop here, I think it was in San Francisco, and how much your show has impacted me. Having, elders in our community who are successful and out there and in the media and just giving us representation, talking about our storytelling, talking about our different cultures, and I'm just really thankful and maraming salamat for everything that you do to keep our culture alive. Keep the podcast strong. Thank you, and sige na.
Ips.
Mistake.
That guy said that we were elders.
Tang ina, elders na tayo.
Elders.
Elders na tayo.
Thanks, bro.
Tanks.
I'm 28, man.
Still?
Forever.
What I really liked about that was I feel like they really just decided to call while waiting for food. You can hear the people in the background.
Yeah.
It was like, I
Wait, did you guys know any of those people?
Nope.
They just had our number on their minds and just
They were probably listening to
listening
an
in the car.
episode,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, let's call."
Right.
Maybe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you should totally do that if you're listening right now. 805-394-8325.
They were in Oakland, so
Yeah.
I wonder if like a white lady was there calling 911 on them.
They weren't barbecuing.
Filipinos.
Too soon, bro. And then we have to go back out there and do line dancing.
Oh, I'm there.
In and outs.
In and out. Oh, now I want in and out.
So today we're gonna talk about more things, more questions we have in our community.
Bucket.
So bucket list
Bucket list.
2.0.
The
You like that?
return.
You like that sound effects? Sound effects?
Whoopsh.
2.0. No?
A whip?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is that important?
I don't know. Because this is the second one we're doing. I don't know. Is this the second one or the third one?
Second, I believe.
Okay.
We've done 2 hilaupas.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
That's right.
But this is our second bucket list.
Bucket means
Why?
oh.
XY. So, yeah. Elaine had a bucket list question that she wanted to talk about. And this is she's very passionate about this issue.
I'm so
What is
passionate
this?
about it.
What? Tell us.
Okay. I'm passionate about my hatred of raisins. Like,
Okay. You know what's funny? I'm feeling you right now. I actually I perked up a little bit. What do you mean
Like-
your hatred for raisins?
Is this the extension of the grape boycott?
sure. Sure.
Solidarity.
no
It's
uvas.
solidarity.
No raisins.
Okay, I've had this in my brain for so long. Like, why do empanadas have raisins in it? When we were kids, one of our grandmas used to always make the empanadas for the parties, and one of my cousins used to threaten and say, "We should totally have her make one empanada that's all raisins, and then whoever gets it, it's a surprise." It was like, surprise,
More
you
like
lose.
Russian roulette.
Oh.
That would taste good though, because then it's like a desserty. It won't be savory anymore. Because the problem of raisins is that, at least in your opinion, is that it doesn't belong in places where it has savory things like ground beef or ground chicken.
Like, it shouldn't be an embutido.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Why?
Girlie's mom makes what is that, macaroni salad and puts raisins in it and pineapples.
As a TFAL food appreciator,
Yes.
Elaine, I agree with you. I think raisins belong as raisins by themselves, or perhaps even wrapped in chocolate, and that's it.
I
in chocolate?
appreciate chocolate covered raisins.
I appreciate
like
Raisinets.
Raisinets.
Yeah.
I appreciate Cadbury chocolates with raisins in it. You know,
Like the
come on.
fruit and nut
Yeah.
Cadbury.
I'm trying to give raisins their way to shine
Honestly,
here.
with the fruit and nut Cadbury, I will not eat the fruit.
Wait, so why are there versions that have raisins and versions that do not? Like, right? If you get empanadas from like Red Ribbon or something, I think they don't usually have raisins. Do
Maybe
they?
Well,
because people have
Is it a
complained.
regional thing or?
No, I think
I'm not sure if
Some
that's
people
regional.
do it wrong, and some people do it right.
The wrong way is with raisins, and the right.
See, I don't hate it. Like, I prefer not to have raisins in
Do
it.
you pick it out?
No.
I pick it out.
I
But-
pick it out.
But like, if it's there, I'll still eat it, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's not something where I'm not going to eat the empanada anymore, or I'm not going to eat the embutido anymore.
Yeah, that's why I pick it out.
For
yeah, pick it
for
up.
empanada, I will just power through because it's just so it's not that big.
It's like, oh, it's a mystery in there anyway.
Just like spit it out like orange seeds or something, right?
But in embutido, I will push it out of the meatloaf with my
Yeah,
fork.
I agree.
Like,
Well, Mike, the hard part about spitting it out is it's kind of like you bite into it and you're like, oh, it's already in there. I can't. It's not like a pit that you can just spit out, right?
True.
But I agree with you, Elaine. I don't think raisins belong in empanada and potato. I actually don't like raisins in bread, so get out of my bread, raisin.
Well, I don't like it in bread either.
Yeah, it doesn't belong there.
How about cereal?
Raisin bran?
Yeah, raisin bran.
I can kind of have raisin. That's like the last cereal to go in the multi-pack. Do you remember?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, because the Frosted Flakes is the first one to go usually.
No, corn pops.
Oh, the corn
Ew,
pops.
you're gross. No, the first one was always Fruit Loops.
Okay.
I actually I like Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes. They're gross.
My cousin
Sorry.
growing up, she would put sugar on top of her Frosted Flakes.
Filipino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to think, like, what are you doing? And she's like, it's not sweet enough. I'm like, you're not going to have any teeth.
Yeah, sweet tooth. But yeah, I'm the same with raisins.
Is it just raisins, or is it just a sweet, savory combination you don't like?
It's a texture thing too, right? It's sweet and it's like a
mushy.
weird kind of mushy thing to have in the middle of your meat.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Huh.
So it doesn't
Wait, Mike,
jive with me.
do you don't, it doesn't jive with you either, right?
No, no.
Yeah. I think it just disrupts the taste. And not in a good way.
Yeah.
Because it's so tiny. And you're like, oh, okay. Like it shouldn't be here. Like you're not expecting it.
Because it looks like rat poo poo.
Or
There's like
yeah.
lumpia with raisins, right?
Rabbit poo poo.
what do you mean lumpia with raisins?
I've had a
No.
lumpia with raisins in it.
Really?
That is wrong. No.
I mean,
I've never had that.
I came to a party, bitten to it was like one of those larger size lumpia ones. It's like, why is there
So you
totally.
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a losing game.
Someone was messing with you. You got punked, bro.
Yeah, no, that's not supposed to happen. No.
Yeah. So raisins get out of our
That's mine. That's mine.
Okay.
What
so,
is- what
So
do you-
we made a general consensus that raisins do not belong in
Yes.
meat foods.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Okay. I don't mind it, but you guys apparently hate it so much.
Joe's gonna make an empanada with just raisins.
Oh,
Convince
God,
us.
Party.
Convince us.
All right. So the next one, I believe Mike had a question out there in the world,
Oh,
and
so
he forgot.
Yeah. So, we've had these conversations before about like how a lot of Filipinos have a lot of the same names depending on what year you were born, and there's a lot of like JPs out there. There's a lot of like
Michael Johns.
there's a lot of Michaels. There's a lot of Jennifers. We know a lot of Jennifers.
Yes.
But we were at an event for this podcast network that we did a guest appearance on, the Geek
Say What.
Geek Say What network. And for whatever reason or another, there were 6 guys there named Justin, 3 of which were Filipino. And we're like, and all born kind of like in the early mid 80s.
80s, like 82, 83.
And so like Elaine has this theory about like how certain names are popular because of like whatever movie or celebrity was kind of big at the time. So there's a lot of Jennifer. You want to explain the
So,
whole?
like the whole thing with Jennifer's. So in 1980, that era, the movie Love Story was really popular, and the lead female character, her name was Jennifer. So all these women like ended up naming their daughters Jennifer. In my class alone in St. John's, there were 3 Jennifers in my grade.
So yeah, your best friend's name is Jennifer. My best friend's name is Jennifer. So it's like, so there's that. So we were trying to figure out like, okay, if there's a bunch of Filipino Justins, was there a movie or an actor or something that was happening in the early 80s?
Was there a saint? Saint Justin.
And we spent like half the evening trying to figure this out, sitting with different Justins, asking them how they got their name.
And if you look up the origin of Justin, it's like it's from like just, like to be just, or justice and that type of stuff. But like, what was it? What?
Maybe it's just Filipinos listening to news. This just in. What's the news? There's a new baby. This just in. No? I thought that was good. No?
That's like I give you a high five for that.
So stupid.
But
So
you know-
much news in the 80s.
But it's like there's a lot of like depending on the year, there's a lot of.
Did you just snort? That's awesome.
Elaine just snorter.
And I think some of them had like their middle name or middle initial was like started with an R, so there's a lot of JRs. So it's like okay.
So maybe because of Dallas. I remember that. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really watch it. I was
Wait,
too
was
young.
one of the
Like
the
who shot
characters-
JR?
Yeah, JR was like
lead
the
character.
prominent actor,
Was it?
but he was a
Justin?
villain.
But he was a villain.
Well, my mom watched a shitload of Dallas, so but I'm not a JR,
so
luckily,
maybe that's
Maybe,
why. And they
perhaps.
didn't want to do Jason or Joshua.
There are a lot of Jasons and Joshua's.
Yeah.
A lot of J's.
There are a lot of J's.
Well, Joseph.
John Paul Joseph.
Is it because J is not in our alphabet?
Oh, interesting.
And maybe it's like, oh, J is in like the American alphabet. Maybe we should name our
like
kid
Jesus.
No, but we talked about it before. There's not a lot of Filipino Jesus or Jesus.
Yeah.
Right. But there's also Jose Rizal.
Yeah, but that's
It's
different.
not Jose Rizal.
Yeah, like that's different. That's Spanish, all right. But this is American. Justin. sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that.
With my theory.
I'm gonna go with Ryan's theory.
Anyways, if you're
That's
listening to this episode and your name
your
is
name's
Justin, feel free to chime in on our Facebook page and let us know, was there a reason or
Ask
Yeah.
your
Maybe no
mom and
reason at all.
dad, why is your name Justin?
I'm actually also curious in like the different spellings Filipinos can come up with like Jennifer or Justin.
Oh yeah, there's something that's a Y.
We met a guy whose name is Justin, spelled Justyn.
Yep.
Just
No
fine.
H.
No H.
You know, there's
Justin.
there's like a trend in the Philippines back then where they started adding H's everywhere in their names.
JH.
Yeah, Justin.
Justin.
It softens it, you know. Justin.
Anyways, that was a random thing we were thinking about the other day. So
I'm
Very
curious.
interesting.
I hope someone answers. One of the many Justins in the world
Yeah, there's got to be someone from the early 80s, maybe in the...
that knows,
Yeah. That was popular back in the day.
right? Like people who watch the Olympics. I'm sure like there's a lot of Mary Lou's because of Mary Lou Retton.
my mom's best friend's name is
Well, she's older,
it's
but like
woman.
there gotta be some kids out there. Maybe they all go by Mary.
Maybe. But there's not a lot of, like, Filipino Bruces, as in Bruce Jenner. Like in the 70s.
Bruce Lee.
That's what I thought. Or Bruce the shark from Jaws. I've been to Universal Studios too often that I associate that with it.
Wait, what? Jaws'
Yeah.
name is Bruce?
Yeah, if you go on the tram tour when you're in the Jaws area, then Jaws comes out. Like the tram tour guy will always be like, "We call him Bruce. That's his name. That's what they named him."
I had no idea.
Oh,
Wow.
I went on that tour almost every year of my life for like 15 years.
Wow.
That's called
Jaws.
Filipino visitors. Take them to Universal.
Let's show you
Studios.
America at Universal Studios.
This is America. You have to have those "This is America" pictures, right?
When you go there, the aunties go, Just go. I just go.
Oh no.
That's got to be a shirt now.
All right. So the next bucket question that we have is, we've noticed that there's a kind of new wave of Philippine cinema coming to kind of mainstream audiences. Pretty much starting in the early 2000s, there's a lot of new movies that are coming out, and you know, they're very well done. They're very very well scripted. It's not like those corny hokey movies back in the day, but these are actually very well done. And but a lot of them kind of center on the same theme, and it's always about kind of a stance or kind of a critique about Philippine government and corruption and drugs and crime. There's a lot of crime thrillers. So, for example, on Netflix, there's two new Filipino.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's one Filipino series called Amo, right, which is
Boss?
kind of
Like
yeah,
a boss?
yeah, which is basically a crime thriller.
Yeah.
Centered around the drug trade, and then there's also Redbird, which is a movie,
Yes.
and it's pretty much centered around government corruption. But yeah, I guess my question is, why is it always this theme from this new wave of Philippine cinema that's coming out?
And this, I had this question too because when we were screening films at the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival last month, Mike and I went to a short film series, and one of the first film, it was called Patayon, so killing, and Patayan, and it was just a recreation of several people being murdered, and it was apparently like a day in a life in 2016 of all these murders related to drug trafficking. And then we watched Neo Manila, and it's another film about like the drug trade and whatnot. It's a drama, like a crime drama. And scenes from that short film, like the examples of how people would die, like off motorcycles and then they'd be murdered and whatnot, the exact same scenes I saw in Neo Manila. And I was like, is this the new trend? Like, in the past with like Lino Brocca and others, like the term like poverty porn was existed for it created about what cinema looks like from the Philippines. And like, is it now a shift from like poverty porn to this crime
porn,
drug crime corruption porn?
Well, here's a provocative thought about that. Is it only those are the things that make it through to the States.
Yeah.
Because that's what they think they can sell to us because we're interested in. So they're reflecting back on, I always think about cinema and like in terms of like those eras, and when those eras kind of reach these other places, like a lot of the films in the 90s were kind of like that for us in the early 2000s. Maybe they absorbed that and they're starting to reflect that back to us with a Filipino kind of like accent to it, literally.
Right.
True.
And because they know that this is something that we engage in and enjoy, right?
But I don't think there's like a delay, like something that we did, like the U.S. film did in the 90s and 2000s, and then suddenly Filipinos wanted to copy that. I don't know. I don't think it was that there was a delay, but I do think there is a certain genre of film that, I guess, film critics, people in film festivals will equate to the Filipinos, and therefore those are the ones who get kind of a international recognition. So I mean, just naming some of the new films that have come out for the last few years. There's Metro Manila. I don't know if you've seen that one. I think that was on either I think not Amazon Prime or Hulu. Graceland, that kind of made its rounds around film festivals. Let's see, Cubrador was another one. But they all kind of the same things, all like kind of corruption porn. And not to say that it doesn't exist in the Philippines, it certainly does. And of course now with Duterte, it's more prominent. But there are other stories that are out there, but that they don't get the same kind of recognition by film critics, or maybe they're not done by the prominent film directors either. I don't know.
So my take on it is, I think films definitely evolve. Like there's a, I don't know, what was popular back then may not be as popular now, but I kind of disagree with the genre of like corruption, because I think in especially in the, I'm not a film buff or anything like that, but
You're just buff.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Joe. The idea of corruption in film dramas in the Philippines, in my opinion, has kind of always existed. It maybe the format is not as simple as it used to be, because films have to be marketed a specific way. I'll give you sort of examples, like in the 90s Filipino films, a lot of it you're talking about is very kind of hokey, and a lot of very Bollywoody, like
they're all like love stories, like rom-coms.
That's what I mean.
Really
it's like
big.
they're
really corny
Elaine's
comedies.
favorite movies.
really corny
My Nina
comedies.
Mahal.
Like really, even the love stories ones are sort of comedy drama.
They all
And then-
had a song attached to them that we all know. Yeah.
But that came from like also the availability of those themed things in the States or even worldwide. The 80s movies that we appreciated were always connected to a song. Like my sister still connects a Karate Kid with the Peter Cetera song.
Glory of Love.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
I am the man
it's not necessarily
who
the
will fight for your own.
So there's always like this attachment to what was marketable back then. In the 90s and early 2000s, if you look at maybe the popular film genres for Philippines, we were always good at dramas, right? But I noticed, at least for me, there was a lot of films about overseas domestic work or immigration.
for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk about like this kind of migration from the Philippines to another country.
I see what you're saying. So like in the 90s, early 2000s, it was all about OFWs.
Right.
So now it's about drugs.
It's whatever's in the popular discourse. That's what you're saying.
So the last part about this, like the corruption part, back then it was maybe simplified. You had a lot of FPJ movies, right? Fernando Poe, he's like the hero. He's a
Filipino
good
Rambo.
cop, or
I've never seen any of those movies.
Really?
And then-
You don't want to, like,
They're all bad.
the fake machine guns.
And then, but I think here's what I want to bring to this discussion is I think we've actually come out of that, and the creative energy of filmmakers has definitely changed to to having more complex storylines. Definitely about corruption still, but the storylines aren't as like step by step. If that makes a difference,
More
like
nuance.
yeah, a little bit more nuance, a little bit more like not bad and good, but sort of gray area.
Yeah,
you know,
more
a lot of like
realist.
there's more reality to it, and you notice that in some of the movies that we have in the States too. Batman in the 90s was very different from Batman Returns.
I'm Batman.
Right?
Michael Keaton is the one and only Batman. I am sorry.
Adam West is rolling over his grave.
Like, I guess in reference to what you were saying earlier, Joe, about, you know, the reflection and like no delay. I mean, I guess in terms of topics, I see what you're getting at, right? And that is very much topical and kind of like of what's happening now. But I guess what caught my eye when we saw Neo Manila, and if you haven't seen it or had a chance to like see it anywhere, you should definitely try to. I don't know if it's screening or streaming anywhere.
Find it.
Yeah, find it, but legally. It's just like the way that it was shot and the way that it was filmed was very stylistically like kind of a riff on like Michael Mann movies, like Heat, and like
I see.
you know, and also very much like a Abel Ferrara, like King of New York, kind of very like intense. Like so, it's like a noirish kind of film, but like a 80s 90s style noirish film.
I can see that.
But the topic is very of the now. So I feel like they're kind of taking some of the tools and some of the things and styles that we've been, you know, big proponents of, I think, in like, you know, alternative cinema in America, but, you know, putting it through kind of like with a Filipino voice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I also think that they're not really making those films here anymore because you know they're only making blockbusters
Yeah.
or like super like kind
Marvel
of indie
movies.
Yeah, and then in the Philippines, there's more of a greater accessibility to movie making than there was before.
Right.
So the kind of the economics of it lends it to have more kind of nuanced stories and more creative stories. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. I still, when I go to like film festivals and stuff like, or any kind of Philippine movies that do those circuits, like in kind of diasporic
they're all,
theaters,
like, very
it's all the, you know, it's very much corruption porn.
Yeah. With the occasional like
Yeah, there's
middle class, like the Ang Nawawala, like
Yeah.
Marie Jamora or the Rock and Rolls, where they show like a lighter side of life. But I feel like those films, the non-corruption porn films, are like few and far in between in comparison to what the trend is. Like they're like film festival circuits are trying to pick the best of the best of the best, or whatever they have access to. So like that's what they're getting.
Yeah.
I really wish they had gotten Seclusion though. I want to see that movie so.
You mean Seclusion?
One day, I think I just want to see it. I want to see a scary Santo Nino for some reason.
You mean like the one behind me? He's dancing. He's the Santo Nino.
Wow.
It's not really dancing. Sorry.
Oh
Sorry.
my God.
Sorry, baby Jesus.
We should totally make a video of a dancing
Santo
Santo
Nino.
Nino.
Oh man, someone's gonna totally do that.
All right, so a few more bucket list questions.
Yes.
There's been a few kind of Twitter memes that have been circulating Filipino Twitter. One is what is that? Filipinos are always late to everything, but they want to get to the airport like 6 hours early.
It's true.
So true. So
I have a theory of why.
why?
Because we overpack our balikbayan boxes.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So we don't also have the best, like there's devices now that let you kind of lift your bags and, you know, like with a weight thing to tell you. But back then, you got to put cans in
A coffee cup and a scale. That's
or
it.
like here, stand on the scale and we'll subtract your weight afterwards. But there's been so many instances where you go to like the airport, you bring your boxes, you find out it's 2 pounds over, you have to undo your box and then put some cans in another box or something like that, you know, with all the stuff that you're taking.
I think because it's such a logistical nightmare for Filipinos when they go back to the Philippines because of the, you know, the billions of boxes that we bring back.
Right.
Yeah.
They just want to make sure.
Yeah. You also just don't want to miss your flight.
Yeah.
You paid for that shit.
Did you ever like kind of hang out in the airport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they let you, I
Oh,
love that.
what do you mean?
about- Well, no, like before they closed the gates where you only ticketed passengers could go to a certain point.
Yeah.
Like there used to be a wider, like a bigger area where you could just hang out.
Oh.
and
Like
with your
either for
family.
people leaving or waiting for people
Yeah.
to come back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite memories of when my grandparents would go to the Philippines because we'd all go to LAX to Tom Bradley, and like it'd be like my entire like extended family to send off my grandparents, and my parents like to tell me the story how like Mike's gonna think this is co-signing on my thievery, but when I was a little kid, I went into the duty free store
Duty-free?
or the whatever the trinket store is,
What'd you steal?
and I was.
Hudson's, right? Hudson's.
Yeah, I was with my cousins and they all left, and I grabbed like a thumbnail or those thumb covers, like those thimble, like those porcelain ones, and I walked out of the store telling my mom, "I want this." But I was not in the store. Like, I was telling her to buy it, and my mom's like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "From the store."
Too late.
And I was like, But that was because we had like 10 hours at the airport.
Yeah.
Because like my grandparents had
different
checked
now.
in, and then it was just like,
Now you can't party anymore.
no. When Mike's parents go to the Philippines, we always have dinner at Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
There's a Planet Hollywood at the airport at LAX. What was the other one, Mike?
I was just looking at the one that one of our friends posted yesterday. The one Filipinos are superstitious as fuck. Man, there could be a fly on the wall at midnight, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, that's your auntie that passed away."
I don't know about a fly, but I know
Has to
moth.
be a moth.
Yeah, moth.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Filipinos, believe.
Did you say that your dad did that once?
My
Elaine?
dad did
So made up.
No, it's not.
It's like you're
My dad called me the day after one of my aunties died.
Yeah.
And he's like, "There's a moth following me," and I didn't know it. Then I remembered, oh, it's your tita. She's here.
We're just sentimental. we want to find meaning in stuff. So
There was another meme where it was like, you're Filipino when your aunties and uncles are fighting over land.
Yes. There's land disputes.
Land
Yes.
dispute.
that is a thing in my
I
family.
was like, yes, absolutely.
Like, who cares? And then my parents would show me like pictures of like the land and stuff. I was like, oh, that's nice. And what are you going to build, like a mansion over there? And, well, they did kind of, but like they were fighting over like a plot of land next door to it. And it's like, what are you gonna do with that? Make it a garage? Like, what do you need all this land for? You
Land
grow
is-
coconuts? I mean, what's
it's important. It's an investment.
Land is wealth,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, Filipinos.
Land and lot.
You're the landed class.
You guys ever
Landed
heard
class,
land
yeah.
and lot? I mean, house and lot.
House and lot.
House and lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So Filipinos dispute each other because land is wealth in the Philippines. Let's see. What was the other one? We believe that moths are spirits because
Yes.
because why? Because they follow the light,
I think so.
and when you die, you're supposed to follow the light.
You're not supposed to like swat it, because if you do, you're
Yeah.
like,
Oops.
they're not getting to go to the light.
Sorry, moth.
Terrible.
I don't know. It's a moth.
And Filipinos go to the airport early because they want to
Hang out?
Hang out. Because LAX or the airport is their playground.
Oh, brother.
Okay.
Oh man, especially when like at least here in LA, like whenever like a Philippine Airlines flight is about ready to go, and you walk into like the international terminal, like the entire like there's like 3 main aisles in that terminal, and there's one whole aisle which is people with boxes. Those are
Yeah.
the Filipinos. If you
Yep.
Yep.
just take up all the space, and it almost feels like you kind of like feel like kind of bad, like oh we're so rude, but like they got their boxes, so
I always.
and they try to unpack and pack it in the middle of the
That's what
terminal
I'm
too.
saying,
Like,
dude. You need time for that.
Do you ever think like, oh, I'm totally gonna run into somebody I know?
Yeah.
Oh, always do
Yeah.
Yeah.
every time.
That's actually has happened, haven't we?
Totally.
At the airport.
Yeah.
He's like, who's going to the Philippines? Oh, can I give you something to drink?
It's drugs.
Like, it's so funny because like I think if someone's traveling to the Philippines, almost like all the aunties know. Oh, si ano pupunta sa Pilipinas, magpadala ka ng.
Yeah.
I'm like, give them a canned food. Or
Well, see, the
something like
ironic thing for me too is like my mom will go to Chinatown here in LA, buy a bunch of just junk. Well, not junk, I guess, but it's like hats and t-shirts
Yeah.
and stuff that's really just cheap to send to the Philippines. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they probably made those things in the Philippines,
Yeah.
or like maybe it's from China. But it's like they could probably
like
get
China's
that.
closer
You
to
could
you
probably take them to the mall, buy it there in the Philippines, not have to put it in a box, and it'll probably be even cheaper.
Right,
but
right.
I guess it's
it
the
has
idea of bringing gifts.
It has to come
Gifts.
from America.
It's a
Yeah.
debt economy.
Yeah. When my dad went back for my Lola's funeral, like it was an emergency trip, so we couldn't like get a box ready. But he had like I still remember this, one Ralph Lauren duffel bag, because we always had those Ralph Lauren gift with purchase bags. It was full of Nestle Crunch minis. Like, because he went around October, so it was Halloween, and he just filled a whole bag with these chocolates.
Smuggling chocolate to the Philippines.
And I was like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, I have to bring something to them. And I'm like, you're bringing yourself?
Man.
No, he had to bring that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Cool. All right. Well,
Maybe one day the Department of Tourism will send all of us to the Philippines.
As balikbayan.
here we go, trying to pitch DOT, and we're all talking shit about freaking.
You are the
Dirty.
I want the free trip. I mean, we would talk about how the Philippines is so much better than the corruption.
What?
Question mark? Maybe? No? Okay, maybe.
We are so not going to get sponsored by the Department of Tourism that way.
Yeah.
But if you're still listening, hook us up.
All right. We have a few announcements before we leave.
Oh, yes.
What?
Announcements.
It's like church.
Wrestling, right?
Oh. Thank you. Our final hymn is number 65.
There's some announcements. Second collection is...
We need to.
We have donuts in the auditorium.
We have to read for the church fund for our hall. Announcement is Balut Club. What we are going to be at New Japan Pro Wrestling in San Francisco at the Cow Palace for the G1 show. So if you are a wrestling fan and have tickets to the show, spot me and Bullet Club co-founder Berto will be there. Producer Mike will not be there because Elaine is letting him not be there.
I'll be in the area if anyone wants to buy me food while I wait for them to finish watching wrestling.
Mike needs somebody to hang out with. July 7th or July 8th?
It's like July 7th.
Cool.
July 7th.
That's
yeah.
all you and Berto.
Yeah. Mike's like, do I have to go to the show? And I told him no, because I'm not going to waste money on a ticket for you if you are not going to enjoy it. So we'll be there in our Bullet Club gear. So come by, say hi, say hello. And then if you're not at the show, come hang out with Mike, because he's not going to have anybody to hang out with for at least that portion.
And book club, right?
Oh, yes, the TFAL book club. So we were reading America is Not the Heart this month. And now we're going to read a graphic novel. What? It's called Duran Duran, Imelda Marcos, and Me. It's by Lorena Mapa. She's Filipino-Canadian. And the reason I picked that one is because it's a graphic novel, so it's a quicker read.
And it's graphic.
I don't think it's that graphic. But yeah, so it'll be 3 weeks instead of a full month, and I will post it as an event and just like it. And the whole purpose of the book club is that we can read. I'm trying to read more books, unlike producer Mike, who feels like doesn't know what a book is.
Nope.
Mike doesn't read. So this is my way of encouraging myself to read and having like a discussion with other Filipinos and Filipino Americans, and also promoting like books and authors who are Filipino and Filipino American, Filipino Canadian, that kind of good stuff.
Cool.
Filipino Mexican.
Right on.
Mexipinos?
Mexipinos. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my announcements.
Cool.
Okay, and now we're going to plastic collection plate. Return your envelope for the...
All right. So that's the end of our episode. Thank you for indulging us.
Bucket.
List.
Rate us on iTunes, all the good stuff. Review us, join our Patreon, all the good stuff. Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing, Filipinos.
Yeah. This Filipino American Life is produced by Michael Nailat. Our intro and outro music is by Roger Habon, aka 10.4 Raj. Resident reality checker Girly Colado, legal advisor Rianne Fajardo, and graphic design by Vincent Collyer.